Keep proud.
Yeah, we going
Man,
there.
let me talk to you. Just slow down for a second. You walking off fast. Like, let me say something. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. I need that. I need that. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. I need that. I need that. Look, how you doing? What's your name? Hold up. Are you single? Any kids? What's up? Give you love, friendship, and trust. I know this all sound like a lot, but what? I do what I feel is right. Open and listen, I don't want to fight. Keep it real with me when I get touched. Right by your side.
Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Kid Problem here, surviving Newark. We got my guest Chrissy. We got my other guest Southwood Ab. And who we got over there?
AK The Truth. What up? How we doing?
We here, we alive. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. You know, life is going so many different directions. I was praying. I was praying a lot.
Amen.
Did y'all? I gotta introduce y'all. Y'all
Yeah, that's fine.
We good?
All
right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Who do we got here? Who are you, man? I don't know who you is.
Right, man. Right, that's my job to let you know, right? Nah, my name is AK The Truth. All right, I'm an R&B singer, hip hop songwriter, and I do a lot of things for my community. I'm Nigerian, so you know we got a lot of talent out there in Nigeria. You know, I just want to bring real music back. You know, I speak about my truth. You know what I'm saying? My last name Akonunu. You know what I'm saying? It means Akonunu. Yeah, it means the one who came to cease all the rumors on his family, right? And so that means that I came through to not play around. I came through to show my truth. In a world where everybody's trying to be somebody else, it's powerful to be yourself.
Right. You know, before we get into anything, I just got a quick question. I don't know. I'm feeling this. I'm going to ask it. You know, a lot of us, we don't really get into politics. But I want to ask.
Okay.
Who are you voting for? I don't know if it's kind of personal. I want to ask. Who are you voting for?
I'm not trying to get canceled.
Donald Trump?
Oh, chill.
You got to pick because I don't know.
Chill.
I have to choose. Listen, choose.
Yo, I know you got to choose, and that's the crazy part.
Indian or Trump?
Hey, listen.
Not the Indian.
The crazy part is, I don't even do that peer pressure stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do the. I'm gonna do the me stuff. You know what I mean? But if I'm being completely honest, you know, both of them are pretty crazy. You know, in their own respects. You know what I'm saying? But we all as a community, we have to think about what's best for us. So you know, my vote is just gonna be. Towards what's best for my community, essentially.
So you're not going to tell us who you're going to pick?
Definitely not. No shot. Nah, I'm not
Respect.
I'm not going to say that.
All right, okay, I'll leave that one alone. But if you were the person, if you were the president, what's some
vote
things
for me?
No. What's some things you would change? What's the direction you want to see United States go in, like, for everybody? Like, how would you make it better? Because you see inflation is crazy right now.
Yeah, inflation is pretty crazy. I mean, man, like, I'm just a guy who makes music, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
You don't want no
like, I
part.
don't know I really just want to live a peaceful life, but like, I'll be honest with you, right? Like, I am a byproduct of how terrible the economy is, right? I came out with a master's degree in neuroscience at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Thank you, I appreciate that. You know, but nowadays it's delusional to go out into society with a master's degree and think that you're gonna get like an 80 to 100K job, right? So you practically turn a master's degree into a bachelor's. You know, and so on and so forth. It's gonna keep degrading unless you get a terminal degree, and I just don't want to, you know, put my children through something like that if they have to sacrifice 6 to 8 years of their life studying just for them to suffer in silence.
Yeah.
So would you promote, you know, going to school, or do you feel like as a, you know, society now that it's not needed?
I think if you're gonna go out and use your degree, that's a great question. I would go to school, right? Because if you're gonna use your degree, go to school, right? You're gonna need those studies. You're gonna need all of that. However, in this day and age, there are quicker ways if you have more talents like content creation, marketing, building a brand. You know, I know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sells Terramana, right? He doesn't know a thing about liquor, you know, and he's not like a liquor connoisseur. But people buy Terramana because the brand of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is so solid. That's why he's able to get so many units sold.
That's a fact.
Right? If I were to come out with a liquor right now, I'm going to be net negative for a long time until I market it and build my brand up to where people, oh, wait, what? Oh, the truth? AK, the truth got that? Oh, hell, yeah, I'm about to buy that now. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't have any of that brand built up, that brand image, I can't really make any money.
But you know something? Just to go back a few steps, I see a lot of people is going to college and they're majoring in something, and then when they get done with school, they don't go into that field of work at all. And then, you know, they owe all of this money, and then it's like, then they start preaching, don't go to college, you don't need college. You know what I mean?
Don't do that. Like, I'll say this, like, they had a really rough instance, right, of them coming out into the real world with what they had, and they based that one instance, that one rough patch, on how it's going to be for everybody else, and they tried to preach it to save people. When in reality, you do have to go through a couple of things. You know, you have to roll with the punches a little bit in order for you to find your ground, stick your feet in the sand, and pivot. That's essentially what we got to do anyways. You're not always going to use your degree. Trust me, I don't use my degree right now. So I'm trying to search for that, see what I can do with it. But at the end of the day, you just have to be able to roll with the punches, because when you come out of college, you learn how to learn. Most people don't know how to learn and grasp concepts right there on the spot. But you went to college, oh yeah, you know how to learn this. I trust you. You know, and you would be a great business person because you went to college and you learned that ability to research and think independently. A lot of people adopt a lot of talking points. We can't be doing that. We got to think independently. All right, save our community by thinking independently, and you'll be able to progress in a better way. Please don't limit yourself, and please don't force limitations on other people just because you had a bad experience.
Yeah, I hate when people do that. That's
I
real.
tell people to, you know, imagination, you want to keep that.
You want to keep it alive.
Person, you don't want to never let that kid in you die. I seen someone speak on that probably earlier today, and it kind of like sparked fire, you know what I mean, in me. It's like, okay, yeah, I've been right this time. I've been thinking to myself, I want to change the whole world. And, you know, just with that fire in me, with that, believing that, I built a pretty decent platform, and people know me for that. So now it's like, okay, I want to keep that imagination going.
Yeah.
You wanted to say something. I think I cut you off. I'm sorry. But
No. I was rocking with what you're saying, because that's exactly how I feel. Having that imagination is a healthy inner child, so you have to prepare your mind to want that, like,
Exactly.
if anything.
Yeah, you got to envision it first and foremost, right? And I think a lot of people don't even. Your mind is really smart. What I learned in neuroscience is that your mind really controls
Everything.
everything, man.
The mind is everything.
It's
It's the most powerful
everything.
vessel that in the time.
Absolutely. And if you, what happens to that vessel when you listen to other people?
You be easily influenced.
Exactly.
And then you start putting the soul to sleep, and once that happens, it's over.
It's
Damn,
over.
And you
I
might
love
start
that.
believing
I
what
love
they
that
say.
you
You
said
start
that.
believing
Putting the
it.
soul
So,
to sleep.
Hey, that's
Yeah, that's fire. Putting the soul to sleep.
look, like I was saying, like, you start believing them, and you put your dreams on them, or you tell them your ideas. You know, God didn't show them what He showed you. So now they saying, nah, I don't think that don't make sense. So you listen to them, you know, you might give up, just lose that drive.
It's the same. If you think you're a loser, you're a loser. If you think you're gonna win, you're gonna win.
Right.
It's simple.
I mean, it also goes to the same route too, right? Like, if you convince somebody that they're a criminal, what do you think they're going to do?
Exactly.
I have a question. So with the way that society views us as a whole nowadays, and have such an easy influence on us, do you feel like it's harder for us to maintain that positivity? Do you feel like it's easier for us to fall into like a depression where we want, you know, like where we fall victimized into what they're promoting to us? Because I know you said earlier, well, a few minutes ago, you said we have to think like individually first. And I agree, because we can't teach others unless we taught ourselves. So do you feel like, you know, like, what's your opinion on it?
I would say that it is easy. It is easy for us to fall into depravity because of just so many things happening onto our community and us as a whole, you know, in order for us to like progress I would say this though, right? Even though it is easy to fall into depravity because of this stuff, look at us. You know what I'm saying? We've been through hundreds of years of depravity, right? And yet we still have climbed, we still have reached bounds and leaps to even get to this point. There was a point in time where we were absolutely nothing but tools, point in time where we were treated as second-class citizens, and even now some people look at us in disgust. But at the end of the day, I'm not miserable, and I'm not going to let you win, because we didn't let them win.
And you know something? What you said was very important, but most people don't have that mindset. You know, if more of us had that mentality of my people been through a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to be what they promote, or I'm not going to be what they think, and I'm going to just be myself and not worry about it, we probably wouldn't go through half of the problems that we go through as a community. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that's a good way of thinking. More people need to think like that.
And that's why I'm promoting the independent thinking right now, you know?
Right.
So we got to get into that. We really got to start understanding that, hey, just because you listen to this group right here that's doing really good doesn't necessarily mean that they know exactly what's going on. It just so happened that what happened for them was the right thing for them in their particular situation, right? We're all unique.
And I meant to ask you, do you have kids?
Man, no. Let me let him cook. Hold on.
No kids.
No kids, man.
All right, how's your relationship status?
Single, y'all. I'm pleased I don't want to be in a relationship. Ladies, don't hit my line. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta double down on that. Why you say that? You busy? You know, you just doing your music. You got work. What's going on? Why you don't want to entertain it?
I'll be honest. You know, I got so much focus right now, you know, on my music career and the things that I want to do. And I also realize, like, as a man, like, there's a certain level of provision that you have to provide to your woman before you get into a relationship, right? For me, I want to be able to provide for me first and foremost before I can provide for anybody else, right? And I know that in a situation when you do get into a relationship, you got the king and the queen. The queen's the most important piece on the board. You literally cannot have a strong man without an even stronger woman. You know, I just am kind of scared because I have not really seen super strong women that I would like want to be like the mother of my kids.
Do you feel, me being a woman,
Yeah.
you know, I personally do know that us women nowadays as a whole, we lack morals, we lack a lot of, you know, like things that we used to have. So do you feel like that also plays a part into like you wanting to be single, at the fact that nowadays these women are so independent that they feel like they're men, like, and I don't know about you, but like I feel like women became very, very disrespectful.
Yeah. And like that's my thing. Like I was raised up in Detroit, Canarsie, Brooklyn, Buffalo. Like there's very spicy women everywhere. I'm also Nigerian. They're the most spiciest women on the face of the planet. You know, but at the end of the day, I know how to deal with that. I just want to protect my peace a little bit, right? Because ultimately, I get it. We got Sexy Red out here. We got Lotto. We got Saweetie. We got all these female rappers doing their thing, and they kind of want to copy it because they're saying it's a woman empowerment situation, right? I totally get the movement, but you don't have to be sexy and shed all your clothes.
I don't get the movement. Maybe that's just me. I don't get it.
You don't get the movement, okay.
Me personally, like, how is exposing your body, something that's supposed to be valued by your partner, empowering you? If anything, to me personally, I feel most empowered when I'm covered up and you are directly looking at my face and we can have a conversation. I truly don't understand how being naked is empowering. Like today, I don't know if you know, but I do work as a roller coaster tech.
Oh, wow.
And so I fix roller coasters.
That is insane. That's an insane job. Put that on your resume, like.
And I actually was so disgusted today because I was fixing one of the kid rides, and there was a woman that walked in with her stroller, like a kid in a stroller, and like two more on the side of her, and she basically was wearing like bra and panties.
Oh.
Yeah, like literally. And I was like, why? Like, to her, she probably feels like she's looking amazing, like the most baddest, because now everybody wants to be a baddie, right?
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like there's kids here.
Yeah.
You're showing everything. Like there's no more mystery.
Oh no.
And my thing is here. When we speak on these things, whether it's in private or if it's on a platform, we get looked upon like you're trying to be controlling, you're trying to do this, when in reality, some of us can see how the culture is changing. Some of us can see how it's being manipulated by stars and they're setting trends. And right now, the youth, this is their era. When I say the youth, not only kids that's like, 12,
Adults that still
it's
have
16,
childhood
17, 18, 19,
issues.
20 through 25, and they follow these trends like they made it okay and accepted in society to wear nothing. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, if I'm going out, I have to look good with my girls. That's what these girls think. I gotta go look good. Yeah. But they're not caring or taking into consideration how a man might be looking at them or how they might be devaluing themselves. Right. So I feel like we just need more young men to be on platforms and speak on it. Like, yo, I don't even like that. I'm not even trying to wife that, and I ain't even looking because too many is falling victim to that.
Right? Can I be honest with you?
Please.
I'm getting desensitized. I'm getting desensitized because it's like I see all these women rapidly, man. And
I
like,
love how you just put that.
And don't get it messed. Like, I'm also a singer, and I'll have concerts, and I'll have women come up to me, and they're like, "Oh my God, you sound like Usher! Like, this is crazy!" And like, they'll fangirl out and stuff like that. Some of them are wearing the craziest things I've ever seen. I'm just desensitized to it. I'm like, oh man, like this is dope. Like I'm glad that you appreciate my sound, but I'm just not attracted to you in that way, baby. Like the way you are dressed right now, and you know what I'm saying? Like I just see a surplus of it so many times to the point where I'm like, okay, my brain designated this as a pattern. Now the woman who dressed like this, I can't even mess with. And it's like kind of, it's almost messed up, but like they shooting themselves in the foot by doing it. And I really do love like the allure that a woman has. Like you can tell a woman is a baddie when she walks in the room. She's fully clothed, but like you could tell she's a baddie when she walks into the room.
When she continues to do that, right? Yeah. In the long run, it's not going to attract men like you that actually got themselves going in a good direction. It's going to only attract, the dudes that just want to do it. Yeah. And then where does that lead them? But
that's the thing.
Right. No, that
right there is the thing, because that level of consciousness is going to attract that level of consciousness. Like what bruh's saying, I'm not feeling that. He don't want that. So it's going to make them be like, oh, he different. It's gonna seek in their head, I'm gonna try something different. It's really us.
But do you think that like when it's put in front of you, it's a different story? Because I feel like I hear a lot of men say like they want, the regular woman back now, or the modern, like they don't want these, new aged women. But then when it's promoted in front of them, they fall victim to it.
They falling victim to their manhood. Yeah. That's all it is. A big difference between what a man will take home and be with versus we're here for the night. And that's forever, because there's no changing that. So if we seeing the quote unquote baddies and they thotties and they whatever, they may not have sex with nobody, but this is how they doing. They always gonna have attraction. They not going nowhere.
It's like I go to the I'm not me person. It's like me going to the strip club. I'm going there to see.
Hey, yo, let's run that back.
They're going to miss the screw.
That's a clip. That's a clip, y'all.
That's like, look, as a man, let's say if I'm going to the strip club, you go in there to see whatever you
came to see. Yeah.
But then you walk outside, you see it everywhere.
Oh,
It's like it's the purpose of the strip club.
It's modern day prostitution, but we know that, and men still, still fall victim to it,
right. So let me say this, right? There's a difference between lust and love, right?
Right.
We all know this?
Yes.
Okay. And so we all know biologically, right, that when we are aroused, okay, we fall into the lust category, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So inevitably, if a woman of that stature comes to you, right, you will be in lust. You may not fully understand why, but biologically your response is to be in lust of them, right? However, if you're looking for love, there's more dimensions to that. I would say lust is one dimension, whereas love is so many others. And
right, love is a frequency rather a dimension.
Exactly.
And lust is more one dimensional because we know what we focus on, like in a lot of them times. With the society and what's going on with society, it's no understanding. It's automatic. I know he like this. I don't like you. Like,
yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's why a lot of females confuse whether men actually like the BBL. You know, a lot of them still getting their butts done, and they like, that's what y'all like. That's what you like. Then you go and interview the men. Nah, I don't want that.
It's because it's like a dynamic right now. What's going on? It's for us, but it's not really for us because now they in competition with each other, and that competition been around for forever. That's how you dumb society down when you put women against each other. So you could have 100 men saying, yo, I don't like no BBL. You think they give a fuck about what we want? They in competition with each other right now. Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't care. At all. They don't care.
At all.
But they just want it to be the next baddie.
Right.
That can't
but
see
what's this kind of society is that creating for the next generation
they
that's
don't
coming
care.
up?
Man,
These are the aunts and the sisters of the ones that's 6, 7 growing up.
You got to think about it like this. They had older sisters and older mothers and grandmothers who telling them, this is what you got to do to get a man, or this is what you got to do, or don't mess with that man unless he got some money. So when you put that on the table, what's that? What she said, modern day prostitution.
Where we want to be in the next 10, 20 years if we continue to let this go on. When Lil Kim was out and all these other people was out promoting all of this dumb shit, we didn't have the platforms to speak up. You know how many people, I was just talking to somebody about this because they tried to say, well, it was a Lil Kim before Sex Red and all that. What I'm saying is we didn't have as many people.
Missing the whole point.
We didn't have nobody on these platforms or a platform like we do now. Now we got technology, we got cell phones and social media. We can speak independently. We have a voice. Back then we didn't, so now it just continued.
Y'all gotta stop that. Hip hop has elements, just like rock and roll, just like that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna sit around and sit here and say Little Kim and all this other stuff. Those are elements, just like grunge and punk, two different elements. Mosh pits, two different elements.
Yeah.
Violence in music has always been.
Yeah.
Even while we were sitting there playing saxophones and horns.
Yeah.
Everybody does an element. However, what's going on now is that the majority of what you're saying, kid, that nobody didn't have that viewpoint.
I feel like nobody had a voice to speak on it. If we had, I feel like I feel like if it was more people, if more people had platforms the way they do now and had access to phones to be able to openly voice their opinions like they do now, it wouldn't have got so bad the way it did. We would have had less people that was being inspired, influenced, and becoming musicians and becoming the same thing that they idolized. Now, if we had, but that
becomes the hip hop. That's not true.
But look, how did hip hop start as far as gangsta rap? They said it was a meeting and they told them what to rap about.
That was what you're referring to is how they figured a way to make money. The reality of it is when Fuck the Police came out, people was outraged because that's how the police are. You had Fight the Power, you had all those.
Yeah, when that stuff came out, they said, no, we can't do this. Them labels, they said, we can't do this. Police are getting killed.
While that was going on, there was another element that was being displayed. We had 6 in the morning. We had Tila Rock and It's Yours. We had that street, that the message told us everything that we needed to know. But the reality of it is, what the young people have to understand is, even the adults, when they sit there and see Sexy Red is just the evolution of what it was back in the day.
Exactly, and the public didn't have a voice back then.
But that's not
who's not to say that the public didn't like it? It's people that didn't like it.
Now I understand what both of y'all are saying, and I think the misunderstanding of it is he talking about the business part of it. You talking about actual hip hop. What you saying, that's nothing but facts. And what he's saying, that's nothing but facts.
But what we have to understand is, bro, you wasn't around when we were sitting, when we had the church folks sitting there smashing, keeping people's CDs.
Dolores Tucker.
Dolores Tucker and them smashing the CDs, smashing the tapes.
Imagine, okay, now exactly. Now, when they was doing that, imagine if that was going viral around the whole world.
That's what
Imagine if imagine they could go viral just by a conversation and say da 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 da, and then the whole world see it. They fed us what they wanted to for generations, and you had people that was inspired, influenced by it.
But fed the reality that a lot of people see. I can't. See, I'm a hip hop guy. My father taught us back then, bro. I know my history. I know how it go down. That is just the element. Some people are blessed to wake up every day and not have to walk out the door and look both ways. These kids, what they're seeing now is just an updated version of what we used to see, especially in LA. But for example, when you were a kid in LA, especially in South Central and Compton, bro, you didn't have to have no music to sit there and have the cops put you on the ground like that. You didn't have that. We had pictures of that. The only reason why we saw that was because of the LA riots, and then they got exposed with the other parts of the camera.
So what about the overexposure and the promotion of just the bad? Like when Ice-T dropped Colors, man, I'm in the hood. I can't be like you because I'm in the streets. I don't have nothing. How you think the kids in that time was looking at that like, yeah, we is in the streets. We don't got nothing. We can't be nothing.
You have to understand, the message tells the same story. It hasn't changed. Our community, bro, you have to understand. Philadelphia, 1972. Everybody sleep. The mayor Rizzo decides he's going to bomb the projects. He bombed it and nobody did nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
We had voices back then, but guess what?
Did we have the voice from the people in the community?
Absolutely.
On a platform that reached the world.
The majority of the community was killed by the community.
Okay.
That's still going on right now. Right now,
still going on.
Right back then, they did not have the platform. They did not have the access to what's going on, or we wouldn't be having this conversation because that means something would have changed.
Right. And I feel
where you coming from, you absolutely right. All he's saying is, if we had the same tools back then, it would have been different. Because while we still got the same hip hop records from 25 years ago, there's nothing good about that. And I love hip hop. I love it. It's nothing good about it.
Now look what it birthed. Look what that gangster rap and all that. Look what it birthed.
That promoted more prostitution, more murder, more drug use, more trauma.
Y'all was the evolution that was supposed to say, nah, we done with this. We don't like this.
Doing prostitution. The first, Channel 13 taught a lot of niggas a lot of things.
Like, this is what I'm gonna say. Look, black faces used to manipulate the culture.
Yes, that's a fact.
See, that's where you're wrong.
That's not wrong. He's not wrong.
No. Late. 1910. There's a film. Me and my father, he sat there. Yo, when you know your history, bro,
I know my history.
But it's people out there that don't know their history, though.
It's people who don't.
No. But what
I can second that. Not gonna lie.
What I'm telling you is something that a lot of people have never seen.
Right.
We sat there, and he was like, watch what they do. Back in the day, cocaine was used that was their first original Novocaine. What the rich people used to do, watching this film, he was like, this is on Channel 13. He's showing you back in 1910, they having a party, they got a mountain of coke. Similar to how Scarface was, that mountain of coke.
Oh, damn.
They sat there with their little spoons. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's a film. 1910, the first real prostitution movie.
So I got a question for you. I got a question for you. I got a question.
Black folks.
I got a great question for you. Look,
they was doing that before that prohibition era.
I got a great question.
But what he's saying is, we've been used to promote the bullshit more and more and more, and hip hop aided it. That's a fact.
And look at this. This is what I'm about to say. I got a great question. So if we had the platforms now, that platforms that we got today, back then, you think more would it still happen? No. I feel like we could avoid that. Yeah, it wouldn't be as big as it is.
It'll still happen.
I feel like it would have been more people that would have spoke up and said, this is not what we like. Imagine if there's people that got fresh out of slavery would have had phones to connect with each other.
There's no difference between saying.
Imagine when we was actually fighting for freedom for this and that and third and rights and shit like that. Imagine if we had social media. Imagine how much unity it would have been. But no, they took these devices and social social media and they used it against us. Now you got little dudes that's 10, 11, just because he live in Newark and he see this on his phone, he think, oh yeah, it is terrible. The whole community agreeing, like, yeah, I guess it is fucked up. Now we just gotta be drill rappers. Now we gotta jump into the streets. I feel like if we could promote something positive to our youth and to our community, we could get somewhere. Just like I feel like it was nobody to speak out against it back then.
See, that's Randy Moss is a good example I like to use all the time. He's from Hood, Virginia. When you make it there, you graduate from high school and you go to this bar in his town. When you get there, you made it. The reality of it is, you can say that. I've been preaching this for a long time because my father told me, your environment doesn't dictate, his environment didn't dictate that. Go to LA.
That's for him?
No. But
specifically.
Okay. The majority of North Carolina, let's talk about Durham. Durham was one of the poorest places to be. It's not poor anymore. But guess what? The reality of the situation is those people's environments have really not changed. All those people that vote for Trump, ask them how they live. Clarence Thomas was the first person that said, oh, I like the trailer park. Really? You was you was walking with the Black Panthers. Now you okay with the trailer park? Nah. But the majority of the people that vote for him are in the trailer park.
But back to where we started. Where we started this. If we had voices back then,
we did. They killed them.
Okay, that was the people they allowed to have a voice, just like Martin Luther King. They allowed him to have a voice.
But we had voices back then.
Okay, now what if we had the same platforms back then to speak? We'd have had more hundreds of thousands of black people saying this is some bullshit. Would have told the mass, this would have told Massa that, oh, they not fucking with this, and we would have made a different kind of, we would have made different content.
But kid, changes were being made. The fact of the matter is, you only need one person in one different environment to tell you otherwise, to dictate otherwise. The white man don't have to do too much. The white man don't have to do too much if you already broke.
All right, and he don't have to do too much if he know that he got control. If he know that, all right, I got this spot right here. I got the all of New Jersey right here. That's the mindset. I got the control of the whole New Jersey. How can I get a good percentage of them to get on drugs, become gang members, do this and that and the third? Let me go and let's flood out their communities with guns and drugs, and let's also use people that look just like them to promote it as cool.
That's a fact.
And that's what happened. Now, a good percentage wasn't smart enough not to follow behind it.
So, hold on, before you go into this.
But you have to understand, the kids now have like a sense of urgency. That wasn't because of what the people been telling, yo, bro, as a man that got kids, my son tells me on the street, yo, Pop, I understand what you mean by lack of urgency. When we was growing up, we knew all the things that we wasn't supposed to do. We had.
That's when y'all was growing up.
It made me change the whole thing because I got a son. He's 16, and we had a conversation at the beach last week. He don't like Sexy Red. You know why he don't like Sexy Red? Because I'm his father. His mother is his mother. So that's influence. That's real. Everybody ain't had their fathers in their household.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's mother wasn't straight and narrow. So you influenced.
So
your environment.
No.
Then you won't contradict what you saying. I understand what you saying.
Let me get this off. All right. First and foremost, deleting the nuclear family. Point blank period destroys everything. You are more easily influenced, right? Because you lost your pillars now. Right? There's the emotional pillar, there's the financial pillar. There's so many pillars in your family, and once you knock them down, guess what happens? Right? So now you got a slippery slope in what can be influenced into your family. You no longer control what goes in and out of what's going on in your family now. Right?
Exactly.
So when you use other people, right, that look just like you, to do certain things that maybe they marketed as cool or maybe they marketed as great when in reality and morally it's not.
Right.
Guess what's gonna happen? Those people who don't have a nuclear family are gonna fall.
And you might have been mentally strong enough not to be a trick to manipulate it. But right now, it's more easier than ever, especially with the phone access that they got, and they getting them as kids.
Right.
That's true.
And then look at this, and just like this, right now in the black community, it's a lot of single parents raising these kids right now.
Exactly.
So if the father is not at home and the mother is listening to Sexy Red and highly influenced, how is she going to raise those kids correctly?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's no
almost
foundation.
impossible.
And just like we were just talking about how what it attracts. Now I know a lot of females that said that it wasn't no good men in the community, and girls talk about they want to be protected, right? So they chose the dudes on the streets or whatever, and that and just like music had a part of it, the movies, everything. These young girls, they made it with guys that they knew was in the streets because they felt like that was all they had. Generations after that, what did that create?
Exactly. So
do that as well.
exactly. So what's going on right now is not coincidence. It's done on purpose because we can't go to the 6-year-old right now and ask him, yo, you know who Sister Soldier is? I know you know who Sister Soldier is, but that 6-year-old don't know who Sister Soldier is.
He being raised by a single parent in a single parent household, his mom that still want to go out, still want to bring all these different dudes around. How is he about to grow up and be a productive citizen? Yes, some can, but majority don't. Majority end up going to school angry. Oh, I don't have this, I don't got that. They got poor self-esteem. Look at look at the prisons right now. Why is the prisons full of black men that come from single-parent households?
It's a setup that's committed by the community. That's a government issue too. You preaching to the choir. We've been hearing this since we was 4.
Like I said, if we would have had real people in numbers to say this is some bullshit, then we would have got somewhere.
Instead of covering it up. Numbers. Ask Selma. Ask Tulsa.
We would have reached this phone right now. I can reach somebody in California on my phone right now.
I understand. You got to read about the massacres that happened to us, bro. The control is not based just in the community. The control is
so what would have happened?
You gotta remember, it's just like I tell people about AI. Sorry to tell you, but you had the information, but you chose to do other things.
And look at this. Just like when Pac started saying fuck the police, and he had that situation where he was making music about the cop that got killed, some shit like that, and then it was a big problem with cops getting killed by black men. They made it a big problem. He had to go on news and I can't speak for every black man, and they saying that he's influencing them. So okay, all right, let's not put money behind rappers that's influencing them to kill cops and stand up for their rights and all this stuff. Let's get people that's going to influence them to kill each other.
Right.
Bang, gang, bang. Pick a color. Get out there and sell drugs.
And then
unfortunately, you talk, but again, you're talking about what you see. We was already told that was going on before then, and it didn't take no black people to do that. So then you say, okay, well let's go right here.
I think it's a disconnection from your understanding with this.
I disconnect with people when I remember what Martin Luther King, the last speech is the most important speech of the black community. We sat there and we tried to be a part of a house that was burning. Mm-hmm. The burning
and
house,
a lot of people felt like he led us into a burning house.
Because he did. And we don't want to state the facts. He did. He did.
He did because he
wanted us to go and beg and say, please let us into your establishment. Yeah. And we got into their establishment, and what they do? We sat down and they spitting our food and they said, okay, instead of promoting, we need to come together as black people. You need to.
He didn't have to beg. You didn't have to beg.
No, but hold on. I think so. Let me ask you this, right? What is the biggest misconstrued concept in the entire world? What is it? No, I'm talking about generally. What is the biggest misconstrued? What is the most misconstrued concept in the entire world?
The blacks that don't stick together?
No. The biggest misconstrued concept in the entire world is the fact that community controls everything. A group of people can do anything and everything. They can control an agenda. As soon as we start thinking that we can't do anything in unison, guess what happens? We fall apart.
And that's how you divide and conquer because
and they use people that look like us
all
the time.
What provides that?
You're asking me what provides community?
No, what provides community to break apart like that?
Confusion, trauma, drama. Yes.
If you don't see no unity, not even in the household or the community,
And then you was
then
already-
what you gonna do?
Bro, I used to sit there and say that, and my father was like, "No,
It's the fact. It's a fact.
no. It start where it begins is how it ends."
It's
So what is it though?
Money.
Money.
and what is trauma? What is trauma?
No, trauma is influenced by one thing.
Watch
and one
this.
thing only.
What's that?
Money.
All right. So is hip hop? Is hip hop? Hold up.
Like you said, when the kids don't have, what are you willing to do to get it?
Whatever's desperate. So is hip hop trauma based? Is we not talking about our pain?
Majority of hip hop when we started getting rid when hip hop started, it was more about partying, having a good time, breaking away from that. But at the same time, you have to. This is what I mean by the elements.
So
you have to talk about what's going on.
is trauma not a $1 billion business?
Poverty is profit.
Is trauma not a $1 billion
Poverty
business?
is profit.
Is trauma not a $1 billion business?
Yeah.
It's $1 trillion business.
Thank you. Is hip hop part of trauma?
Let him cook.
Just like
I don't have nothing else to say.
Okay. Now you got some young brother out there that's more enraged and ready to, be influenced to talk about bullshit, because he think he's going to make it. What kind of energy is he going to attract? If he's saying, all right, look, I'm a kid. I'm looking online. I want to be an artist. You are your own artist. You're going to speak about what you're going through, your life, trying to make shit better, That is you. But you got a kid right now in North New Jersey who's looking at all of the bullshit and they're saying, you know what? I have to do that. I got to overly talk about the bad stuff that's going on in my life to get somewhere. Now what kind of energy does that attract for him? Now he talking about, I'm going to shoot the ops, I'm going to do this. Somebody pushed him last week. Now he said, yo, what's the name? I'm going to shoot him. Now his brother hear the record. Now it's a beef.
Right.
But then you leaving the real part out. Have you talked to them about redlining? Have you talked to them about segregation? We had that. We had all that. All that is the same.
All I'm saying,
when you're 400 years behind and them people making money behind you, once they allow you to do what you do, then you can sit there and do that. But the money is already.
Look at this. Look. Generations of them being able to promote bullshit to us by using our people. Now we're at the point where majority of us right now in today's society are brainwashed and numb and just think it's okay and it's all right and it's normal. When in reality, you got a small percentage of people that know it's not normal and it's okay.
Right.
That's why they call them 1%, 2%. What else? I don't even know. It's a small percentage of people that can really look at the way society is going and can say, yo, they are being fooled and tricked and manipulated. It's only a small percentage. You might be part of that percentage.
But the 1% controls the world.
Yes, they do.
How the board game works, you gotta get to the master. That's how it works.
But hold on. Game's supposed to work and stop playing a game.
And look at this. That same master at the top of the triangle. Look. Like I said, look. That same master at the top of the triangle, what is he controlling? He's controlling the labels. He's controlling the prison. He owns the most real estate. He owns everything. From media to the news outlets. And when I look on the news and I look on the internet, all I see is black people being promoted as the bad person.
Oh man, every time.
So what are the kids going to grow up thinking? They're going to be like, wow, shit, damn.
We terrible.
Or this is the way.
That's
the only way.
And how the rest of the world's going to view us?
Listen,
like how they been viewing us.
Those clickbait stuff, because people don't want to promote positivity. They don't want to see positivity. It's all negative.
What you're talking about is what they was talking about in the 1800s, bro.
But
Probably won't for that. All he's saying is if we had the same tools, it wouldn't have dragged this way. It's 2024 and we still having the same conversations that they had in the 80s.
So what does that mean?
Where does it start and where does it end?
No, but what does that mean though? That means that we don't know how to learn from our history, right? And that means that we're doomed to repeat it if we don't learn it.
Now, if it was more people in numbers,
if we don't learn what we're not learning is where the people gotta understand where does it start and where does it end.
I understand that, but the thing is if you don't
understand that part,
right,
then you can figure out the rest.
Completely get that, right? Because that is a part of understanding history.
But when your environment doesn't dictate that, and it dictates where it starts.
No, your environment does not stop you from misunderstanding anything.
Your value doesn't dictate anything.
No, I'm saying your environment doesn't. Your environment doesn't stop you from misunderstanding anything. Your environment does not dictate that in the slightest. So there's a thing in science, right, that we call epigenetics, okay? And so you can have a twin come out identical, right? And they can look exactly the same from birth. All right, and then you have a twin raised in Alabama and you got a twin raised in New York City. They're going to have some very slight differences, and you have to wonder why, right? It's because of epigenetics, right? There are certain things in us that are activated, right, because of our outside environment. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't just put us in a white cube and expect us all to be, oh, yeah, exactly the same. That's not how it works.
Right. I mean, go off like what they say with the crabs and bucket mentality. How you expect crabs to act when they ain't supposed to be in a barrel?
You're right.
But what started this whole going back and forth is if we had the technology that we have now back then, we would have had more numbers. We'd have had bigger numbers.
But it's just like when my uncle got locked up back in the day. He saw the setup for what it is. He said what's going to happen in the future is going forward is, yo, why did I get
so what do you think would happen right now?
He was trying to get where everybody else was trying to get.
So what do you think would happen right now if we got promoted more unity and seeing more black people coming together? What if we seen that all over social media? Black people loving on each other, black love instead of Tyler Perry promoting black divorce and all of this stuff. What if we seen? What if we saw more of that?
Tyler Perry is a what?
It's like he said. What is
corporations are what?
These are the plants.
Conglomerates. Money.
Right.
Where it starts is how it ends.
All right.
So you saying he's a sellout? You saying
that's why now we all have platforms. We all have a platform now.
If you've always been broke and somebody walks up to you and they ask you a question, and then the next day automatically you have $1 million in your hand.
Right.
$1 million when you don't have, especially like you said, the environment. If it's different in Alabama, it's different from New York. In New York, we'll sit there, certain folks in New York will say, "Man, get that shit out of here." In Alabama, they can't say that because when they walk outside, they gotta look both ways. When they look outside, they gotta look both ways because when you've been a part of the have-nots and you're behind, that's what happens. Well, how we were building communities until people realized that the people in the community was just as corrupt as the people upstairs.
I mean, okay, so
where it starts, my father always said this shit. Where it starts, son, is why we're in the predicament we're in, and that's how it's
now, like I said from the beginning, if we had hundreds of thousands of people speaking up saying we don't like this shit that you're feeding us, it would have changed in the dynamics of who's being influenced by what and now where they are. You know, the people that was influenced by Lil' Kim, where are they at now? The people that was influenced by, even right now in this time, the people that was influenced by Tupac, Lil Wayne, this person and this person, where are they at now? Dead or in jail or drug addicts.
And what did they follow? They followed shit like Scarface. They followed shit, the Godfather movies. They followed shit like whatever they sing. It's all a repeated cycle.
Why they never? Well, it's not just because it won't sell because it's not cool. No, because when we were at one point in time, you didn't need social media for all of us to come together in unity.
No,
you didn't need that.
No.
Look how Martin Luther King did it, and he didn't have social media.
Right.
So imagine if it was more unity, positivity, structure, family was more promoted. Why now everything is drama? I hate a nigga. Niggas ain't shit. Fuck my baby mama. Fuck my baby daddy. Look what kind of world is created.
It's
Look
terrible.
what kind of community is created.
No.
It goes back to what Bruh saying. With money.
Created that word.
Money.
And now that's why I said, let's go back to this. Now, if more of us had them platforms to speak on it, and numbers, hundreds of thousands of us on these platforms saying, we don't like this, stop promoting us like this.
You need to listen to Mr. Nigger. As soon as you figure it out, they figure out a way to put.
Now, imagine if it was hundreds, let's say if it was millions of us, how we talking about right now, saying this is some bullshit. Imagine how it's going to change.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
let's say every time we go into Instagram and open it up, and it's not no negative, it's black people coming together. You know, the dude like that's going in Detroit, he got the new era Detroit. He go around the neighborhood, he arms security, and he making sure the community. Where have we seen that in all of the states? Where have we seen all bunch of black people coming together, and it wasn't all of this false narrative that black people are so bad being promoted through media, social media? What if the kids didn't think it was cool or think they have to act a certain way in order to get the bag?
What the original the disciples and the Bloods was doing back in the day, policing their community until once again you fly planes from here to Cuba, or Colombia. You sit there. We don't have planes.
They knew technology was going to upgrade, and they knew it was going to be one point in time where kids was going to be able to get on these platforms and reach the world. So they made sure they made a society where kids would think it's only acceptable and cool and profitable to show their ass, to be an asshole, to be tough, be gay. Now, what if it would have worked the other way around and it would have been positive?
I'm not trying to disagree with you. All I'm telling
We'd have had a different world right now.
Oh, I know.
A different world, maybe, but when you have money, is it? I go by Bernie Sanders.
I hear what you're saying.
When you were doing elections, they didn't have money involved. When money got involved, you have Trump. You understand how this works? Mm-hmm. How it starts is how it ends. Even if you have 1 million people saying that's bullshit, you can do that until you put.
If you got 1 million people that saying it's bullshit, it's a less likely of people that's going to be influenced by it.
It depends. It depends on the money.
But we got so many people that was influenced by it. Now we got generations of single-parent households. If we would have promoted, not to be, what's the word, promiscuous? If we would have promoted that it's not cool to not come outside half naked, this and that, and the third, it would have been a more probable chance of rah-rah down the street, not making the baby with X and Y and Z, who end up growing up to be nothing.
So hold on, I want to touch on both of what y'all saying right now, because you guys are saying some really dope things right now, and I just want to bring it to the center, right? So there are studies, at least studies that I looked at back when I was studying neuroscience, right? And so there are studies that legitimately show, right, that if somebody in a room, okay, says one thing and everybody else agrees on another thing, they're more likely to be influenced by that, right? So let's just say this. I'm looking at this red square, right? And I know that it's red, and you say it's blue, you say it's blue, you say it's blue. Everybody in this entire room says it's blue. And I keep going over and over and over and saying, nah, it's red. What are you talking about? At some point, I'm going to think that I'm delusional. It could be a form of imposter syndrome. It could be a form of, oh, maybe I'm second guessing myself. And that slight little weakness in your mental, right, that they exploited allows you to think exactly what everybody else thought, right?
It's almost the Mandela effect all over again.
Exactly.
But the Mandela effect is the one thing that the black community, as far as the women, didn't really expect. Maybe I always say the setup is real. You could call it that because it kind of is.
It is.
They public assistance has been going on since the 50s and the 60s. White people, the majority of whites are still more on public assistance than any nationality in this country.
But where's it more populated at? Where's it more marketed towards?
No, it's more
black community, poverty-stricken areas.
You can say that.
Nah, it is true. It is more marketed towards us.
No.
So okay, you ask an average person down the street, which I could go do literally right now. You ask an average person down the street and say, okay, what demographic is more likely to have food stamps? What are they gonna say off the top of their head?
They're not going to say white people.
They're not going to say white people. They're going to say black people, even though we know that that's what the demographic is.
And what I'm saying is the main issue. The whole purpose of understanding is when we had the Board of Education back in the 60s. I forgot his name.
But I'm gonna just say this: imagine what kind of leaders would have been inspired, influenced to be thriving today if we would have had this technology.
But technology is only half your battle. Your main battle.
It's a tool.
But it's the only tool that the elders always said, as far as the black community goes, we have not received our 40 acres and a mule. And because we haven't received our 40 acres and a mule, there's certain abilities that we don't have. However, what the government did back then to the women was, we can provide you public assistance. This is in the 70s. This is not 2024, this is the 70s. You don't need technology to tell somebody, look, we can help you, but you gotta remove that person. The feminist movement was based on a FBI program. David Hoover was paranoid, bro, because he knew what we were capable of. He saw Medgar Evers, he saw Martin Luther King, he saw all that. He went and got Jesse Jackson.
Right, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I get that. But it's case by case.
For us to really, it's more difficult now because of technology, but at the same time, the majority of what's happening now, sex sells. As long as
I'm not selling no tickets.
No. So
as long as you influence money in all
Not
those
selling. They
outlets,
feeding it to entertaining.
Right. So
we're watching the monkeys. You're watching the clown.
Right. So
And
think
that
about
hasn't
it.
changed.
Right. There's a lot to unpack with what you're saying right now, and we can't just focus on one plane of what you're saying, because what you're saying is right, but there's a lot more to it around it. Like Sexy Red, right? We found out that she had to cancel her tour because the demographic that she was attracting with some of the things that she does could not afford it.
Right.
And so guess what that means?
because where's she from?
Memphis, right?
No,
Where's she from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, St. Louis.
What is Missouri?
Hey,
It makes
We
sense.
pay Missouri.
yeah.
Right.
We pay Alabama. Cuomo wasn't lying. He sat there and put it on the board. All you had to do, one of my brothers said.
But how many people you got out here?
Do your research.
But how many people you got out here that's following our lead?
But your main point.
And what is that creating?
And they allow their
But the
children.
demographic is what
To do the same.
I seen about 2 Sexy Red
No, I know
copies
what you're saying. I know what
dancing
you're
the same way,
saying.
rapping the same way.
Promote that
Right.
their
we
children
have to
now.
do this. We have to do that. But as long as that brick
I just
wall
watched a
is
little girl dancing to some grown ass music, and her mother like, yeah, dance to it. Move that ass over, shit, and the little girl dancing. Why you let her dance to
I
this?
understand what you're saying, like 1,000%. And I'm not saying that
they
you're
play their
wrong.
music and their kids walk in and they be like, oh no, let's turn it off. They don't want their kids to be influenced, but they can influence ours.
And my thing is,
Wait, hold on, but we haven't.
two different conversations.
Yeah, wait.
We gotta
bring it in because we having too many conversations right now. We gotta be respectful of everybody and what we saying.
Right.
At the end of the day, I just want to say this, right, and say my piece because I do definitely want to. I think that in a world where influence now in this era is based off of marketing, social media, the glitter and glam, right? You can easily be in no matter what, because your main point when it came down to hip hop, like I get there are so many cultural points and a lot of importances as well when it comes down to hip hop, right? It's done a lot. It's influenced a lot of good and bad, right, when it comes to things. But I'll be honest with you, right? Capitalism is something that feeds into certain things and certain mindsets, and you were right. Some people are moved by money, other people are moved by other things, right? And so when you look at some of the dimensions that hip hop has, it's not just money. It's not just let's shoot somebody. It's not just let's rob somebody. It's not just let's sell sex. It's not just let's sell our body. Like there's so many different things that we have to unpack when we look into those things. So you can't streamline and just be like, this is the one factor. We don't even do that. We don't even do that in studies.
I used back in the high school days. My history teacher, he was black. He said he asked us to write a paper in regards to what do you think is the issue? And one of the things that I learned, I said I watch Star Trek a lot.
Oh, okay.
So in Star Trek, there's no such thing as money. They
Right.
removed that from the equation. In order to be better, you have to work together.
Yeah.
But what my history teacher was impressed with was you took the main agenda out of the equation. When you take the main agenda out of the equation, all the things that you're saying will be correct. But that's what I mean.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
when if I sat there, if somebody got up on the board, the president said, we ain't doing money no more. No money for elections, no money for promotion, nothing. Everybody works to better society.
Right.
Then you can really do something.
Okay, have y'all?
But all I'm saying, you're right. But as far as I'm telling y'all, as long as we lost 400 years of what we were owed, and now we have to sit there and we have to make it the best way we can. But making it the best way we can, now there is a thing called the yin and the yang.
Right.
That's forever.
Yeah.
As much good as you do, like I said, you can have Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, bring in Jesse Jackson, bring in those guys.
Right.
They look like you, but their motivation is because Martin
That's
Luther
what I'm
King
saying.
is subsumed
That's
to
why
the-
we need
that's
more
what
people
I
in
mean.
numbers.
No, I know what you meant from the
Wait, hold
beginning.
on,
I know what you
Did
meant.
you subsume
But
that?
he wasn't
That's-
against that.
that's what
No,
I'm saying
in the
it's
slightest.
the dynamic
Right.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why my attention
Right.
because I said, well, why don't we just take money out of the equation like Star Trek did, and then these jokers is working with aliens and shit like that.
Right.
But if we had
I'm
more,
only in the fence.
if we had
Right,
more people
right.
in numbers that was, on the same type of timing, we would get somewhere. Just like we talked about influence, how these kids are being influenced. Influence is very powerful. It's
Yeah.
$1 million thing, $1 trillion thing.
Exactly.
If you can influence a whole community of people that they are nothing, they're useless, and they're just tricks and thoughts and game bangers, some of them gonna believe it. And then they're gonna create that reality. Now if you got a lot of them that's now let's say we had 10,000 kid problems right in Newark. That was on a platform trying to make a difference. It would shake.
Oh,
it
man,
would
it would shake the world.
It would make more kids be influenced. It's gonna be a kid in the school saying, "Yo, bro, pull your pants up. What are you doing?"
But kid, guess what? Right? Guess what? Let's just say we got 10,000 kid problems now, right? And so all of a sudden, we got maybe about, I'll say 100 other people who are like, "Hey, I have an idea. If we shut these 10,000 down, right? By saying if you do this for money because we can provide you with this money, right? You'll be able to make more money from it." And so that 10,000 starts to get dampened in their influence, right?
That's what
That's
coming.
what
That's
he
what
was
he's
trying to
saying.
say.
That's exactly what he's
Yeah,
saying. And
exactly.
he's not lying about what happened because that's facts.
Exactly.
All you need is one. All
You need is one.
It's one.
That's
I
true.
All you
totally.
need is one.
Yeah.
Bloods and Crips used to police the community until one person said, "Hey yo, this dude down the street told me, yo,
I could make $1 million.
You can make $1 million and better the community." When they get that $1 million, there's a catch-22. Freeway Ricky Ross said it best.
Boom.
He said they put a plate of money in our face and told us, "Yo, all you gotta do is do this, and you can help your community." It only took one person to cause a cocaine epidemic.
And I can tell you this is off the back. Look, I can say they taught these young brothers and sisters how to steal cars, Kias and stuff, right? They promoted it on YouTube, they promoted it on TikTok. What happened in the community? The whole community started. All the young brothers, it started a whole movement. Kia boys. They started stealing up everything. So we see how powerful influence is.
Right.
It was kids that probably wasn't even into it, but it's kids out there that just want to drive. It's like, but I seen this
Or
video.
they like that thrill.
Now we see how powerful it is. Now we need the same, just like they can be reached on the platforms, we need people that's going to say, this ain't right, this ain't cool. And we need more black faces to do it instead of the black faces that's going to manipulate them and influence them. If we had, let's say we had a podcast like this, you see Wallow and Gilly, you see they get millions of people. What if we had millions of people tuned in right here sharing this all around the world, these conversations? It would make the world think.
But how did they get projected?
Man, they got bought out by
What's that?
they got bought out by Barstool, which is
Joe Budden will always be number 2 and not number 1 because they sat there and they said, "Oh, that's a lot of money," but you gave Joe Rogan $200 million. When you play the,
But they control it now.
When you play the numbers,
But they control it now.
It changes the perspective then. So when you talk about the Kia boys, right?
Yeah.
I know them. But guess what Kia does? Yo, we losing money though. What we gonna do? We gonna get a whole new security. We gonna do this and that. Now, why? Not because y'all was stealing the cars. It's because now insurance companies
Exactly.
in the East Coast
Exactly.
wasn't providing insurance. Now you can change it. They don't care if you steal their car, because if you got insurance, it makes more money for them.
Right.
The setup is real. You can juggle it all you want, kid. Problem. It doesn't matter as long as that's in the face of the community.
Now we got to go back to this. We started at. Now, if we have more people with voices saying these black faces was on some bullshit back then, maybe would be somewhere. Maybe the people that were saying this is bullshit on these big platforms and numbers, maybe that would have influenced a whole generation of thinkers.
Right.
Now we got a community and generation of kids that don't think.
Right.
That
And that's where we at right now in
Right.
this very moment. There's a core of people.
We didn't
that does not
promote the
think.
thinkers.
We have a community, we have a whole, but see, that's the false narrative in itself. We do have a community of thinkers. They just work for the corporations.
Then how much do they think?
It still goes back to what I was saying.
But it goes back to the narrative again. You get a college education, you go get a job.
Right.
You get a job, and they give you a nice salary. Like you said, you want to be able to use your degree, right?
I'm not using it.
Yeah, but you want to be able to.
I want to be able to.
You want to be able to
Yeah.
because of even with the learning of science,
Yeah.
scientists make a lot of money.
Right.
But when you take
Actually, contrary to popular belief, scientists do not make a lot of money. In fact, they are the lapdogs to the people who do make a lot of money. So, but yeah.
it's still controlled by the court.
How way you put it and how way you spin it.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We don't want to get into because it gets deeper. It gets deeper, real deep.
Even if you read about when Bill Clinton was I think he was either the mayor or the governor of Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
When he was about to promote himself to be president, this was back in '86.
Heard you.
Hillary was more into it because of her degree,
Right.
more than Bill.
Right.
But what was Big Pharma doing? Woke up one morning, she said it opened up an envelope. Oh shit, $386,000.
Oh.
Damn.
Right.
And what do you want me to do? That's all you want me to do?
No problem.
And not just whites followed it, blacks followed it, Hispanics followed it. If you put a plate of money in front of somebody's face who has been Randy Moss, same thing. Remember what I said? Hood, Virginia.
Yeah.
If you give him a different approach, he becomes a Hall of Famer.
100%.
But the majority don't see that environment.
Nope.
So when they walk out, they go to the bar. They don't know anything what's going on. They don't even care about who you're voting for. What? As long as the bar's still here, we good.
Yo.
But we need the people that's not going to take the bribe.
Right. So like,
got a soul.
but it's
That's
very
what
right.
That's like you telling me.
Environment
It's very difficult.
Where they don't see that. They don't. It took somebody from another state to say, "Yo, bro, you got skills, bro. Come here,
and delegate.
move the masses.
Right.
We can do that.
Right.
But remember, it only takes one
Yeah.
to change it.
Nah, that's true. And it goes back to I knew where you was coming from with this whole
Tiny
situation.
figured it out. Tukey figured it out. That's why he almost won a Nobel Peace Prize. He realized, yo, they put all this shit in our face, and now I gotta fix it.
Right.
But I'm in jail trying to fix it.
Right.
Happens, bro.
And it's the reality of how we talked about Sexy Red. We don't know Sexy Red. Her thing is, I'm following this wave, this formula because it worked. I gotta feed my family. I don't care about your kids. I don't care if your kids influence me. You know why? Because this formula work. This formula work, and I'm about it. We can't blame her for that, but we gotta have a soul.
Right.
At some point, like exactly what he's saying, we have to get to that level mentally. We can't sit.
But I don't want to sit here and say it's not possible.
No,
I'm
it's
not going to
definitely
sit here and say
possible. It's possible.
it's not
It's
going to
possible.
be. We're not going to eventually do it.
Yeah.
Because I want to be a part of that generation.
Nah, we will
I want
do
to be
it.
the sport that have the next generation
Exactly.
that say, you know what, fuck this.
Right.
We're not about to be easily influenced by nobody. We're about
Exactly.
to go ahead and turn up.
Independent thinkers, man.
The issue is, as young people, as you such as yourself, and this is where I understand where he's coming, when Martin Luther King was talking about the burning house. The house isn't burning because the house is burning. The house is burning because of who the opponent is.
Exactly.
Well, okay.
Your opponent is the wall of bread.
Okay.
You can break
The thing is-
pieces of it.
Right, we have to stop paying attention to that opponent. That's what is we doing?
Right.
Because what you saying is 100% qualified. It's solid. We need to focus on that. Instead, we want to be like the opponent, the same
You gonna come up
opponent.
with a solution on my podcast?
With the same
This might happen.
the same opponent who's telling us, hey, we could put a bill behind them rappers talking about getting high and this and that and the third. That's gonna work. We're gonna get the back end of that. They thinking about money. We should be thinking about soul. We don't gotta listen to that. We don't gotta follow your wave. We don't gotta do that. That's like with Ice Cube in his league. He having problems because he don't want to ride their wave. I'm doing total
They might
opposite.
try
of
to
what you
shut
doing.
us down off their platforms.
And
And that's what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah.
They trying to stop me.
You gotta be prepared.
Travis, I know. So can I ask all y'all questions?
Because all we gonna do is have the same conversations over, and then what happens? We become our own worst enemy.
I want to ask all y'all questions.
Before they come and bomb one of us. Like, look, Ab.
No, that's
we got
a clip.
this $10 million. We got this $10 million, Ab. Stop going up on there, and we're going to give you your platform, and you say that he's wrong.
I already know if it was shit like that, they gonna come behind somebody who's close to me, and they gonna find the weakest link. Yo, we're gonna get him $2 million. He gonna turn on Ab.
Exactly.
That motherfucker is going to turn on Ab.
Yeah.
He ain't had nothing. He gonna turn on me.
Right.
A community of women to go, okay.
Get him out the house.
Right.
Get him out.
Get that? Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need no man. The government played the man
I'm not trying
for
to
us.
go back and forth. I just want y'all to understand, like,
But you know what I'm saying?
who your opponent is.
Right,
No, I get that.
right, but we still got to be strong. We ain't about to.
Because you didn't step into the ring not preparing yourself, though. Right?
Right.
You knew, like, just
I
understand.
knew 100% what I was getting myself
Exactly.
Right.
You knew what you was getting into the ring with, and you knew what you was gonna fight. So, really, in reality, what are we really afraid of? You know what I'm saying? Like I want to ask you this question: leadership. What is that? What is that really entitled to y'all? Like, what does leadership really mean to y'all? Because a lot of people think that when you're a leader, you're supposed to seek acceptance, right? Like that's your reward, right?
Leadership is based on sacrifice.
It's based on the responsibility. It's based on the responsibility, and how you bear that determines what type of leader you are.
And I want to say this is off topic, but imagine the world just going on these platforms. I'm going back to this and seeing a bunch of creative kids, leaders, a bunch of leaders saying, well, I'm doing this today instead of a bunch of copycats trying to follow a trend and seeing what they got to do to get views. Imagine if you see a bunch of black kids, oh, look what I just drew. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build a spaceship, or I'm trying to do this.
That'd be fine. I mean, did you not see?
He said like, oh, man, they going to clip all of them off the platform. But no, we could do it.
No.
We could do it.
People that have figured, the dude that figured out how to create clean water.
Yeah.
The whole idea, what Jaden Smith was buying to make sure that the people in Flint wouldn't have to.
Look, this gonna sound very racist to me, but I'm gonna say it. Black kids. It don't matter if you're African, born here, but black kids are very creative. And I feel like they're not really accessing their...
How is that racist?
I don't know. That's people like, what about the white kids? The white kids are creative.
Forget the white kids. It's not always about them.
Right. Black kids are very creative. And I feel like they're being dumbed down in today's society. Oh, I gotta be like everybody else. Oh, I gotta just be an NBA player. Oh, I just gotta be this. I
Because
gotta...
they know if they actually use their talents, that they will surpass.
Yeah.
Not only surpass, because the whole thing is about having
They
control
smart,
of what's going on. Like with our phones, that's controlling the algorithm.
Yeah.
Everything is always about control. What's the next thing? If we had them thinkers, they would not be in control. So they gotta keep dumbing us down. And then we deal with before. Most of the time, let's say we get the people who listening to Sexy Red right now, right?
Right.
They ain't got no kids. By the time they had kids, it's already lined up for it could go the negative possibilities. It's already lined up. You got your mom's a stripper,
More
right?
negative than positive.
She bringing all the stripper homies the girlfriends around, and then you got a little girl who watching that. What's the possibilities of that little girl becoming a
They
stripper?
knew how powerful it would be if they paid the right black faces to influence what they influence. Music is very influential.
Right.
Just like a lot of these people that listen to these rappers, listen to the music, they watch their interviews.
Right.
And they play off of, that's what they think this is real life. Just like a lot of these kids, they watching the K-Fly interviews, the Vine off of 1000. They watch him like, oh shit, he really a killer. Yo,
And
maybe I could be a street.
and they happy about it. They intrigued by the influence. This is what we want to do.
And what
This
kind
is-
of energy that attracts? Once
The
you
bullshit.
once you infiltrated and you really fascinated by the bullshit, you gonna go outside and try to imitate it.
Exactly.
I know, cause I almost fell victim to it. As a
Wait,
kid.
hold on, yo. So, sorry to, you know what I'm saying, stop the whole topic right now. I'm looking at the chat right now. I can't believe, I didn't know we had a chat, actually.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I guess we got some people saying some cool things. We got some people saying too much ego in the mics. Listen, yo, we all very passionate people. All right, we all have very...
No, it was probably just those who say that.
Echo.
Oh, echoes. Got you. Okay, word. Well, at the end of the day, we still are very passionate people on these mics, 100%. And I just want to say that, you know, with all the things that we all put into the air, you know, theoretically, we could all try these things and see how it would pan out, right? But we really never know what it is. So the only thing that we can do is get started,
Yeah, that's right.
right? You know, Jeff Bezos said this in a speech, right? And he said, you know, the movies got it all wrong, right? Every single person thought that me creating what I had created, right? Or was it Mark Zuckerberg, I believe? Me creating Facebook was a eureka moment. It was just like, oh, I got it. This is how we're going to connect everybody in the world right now. This is how we're going to do it. That was not it. Because if Mark Zuckerberg took the time to study how people communicate and how people connect with each other and how people come together, he would have never made Facebook. He just got started, and there was a particular vision. There was an office full of probably 6 to 7 people, and it expanded. So all we really got to do is just get started. You know, we can talk about history all we want, right? We can talk about what was influence and what is not, right? But the only way we're going to really be able to... Yeah.
I dropped the bomb on it. I didn't hear anything. No.
The only way we can really see, right, how these pain points are going to get to us is if we attack them once we get through in the process. Does that make sense? So you got to get started. Brick by brick, build it. We run into a roadblock. All right, cool. We deal with it. We knock it down there, and we deal with it there. But we don't know what we're going to get in front of yet. We don't even know what type of influence we could possibly have by even putting the idea into play. We don't know anything, right? So we're already right now with some of the conversations we're having. We're already limiting certain things. You know what I'm saying? And the mindset. Right? We gotta get rid of all of that. We really do, because
No, that's facts.
you know what I'm saying?
100%. Because we could go ahead and agree to disagree, but we're gonna have to ultimately agree
Get started.
and
It's
start.
just
Yeah.
words, it's meaningless.
Right. It's really about the solutions because we know the problems.
Because, like, for instance, one day we got out of here and we said we was gonna work on something. We really went outside and found some kids, and we made
Right off the
it.
top.
It was an impactful skit.
that.
You know what I mean? You
Right
don't
off
never
the top.
know who that reached. So
I love that.
We did one, and then everything else, no bullshit, unfolded right in front of our eyes. Chick was walking down the street, some kids was like, yo, I got one. Boom, boom, boom. And we put it together.
And
what did
Maybe
you do?
10 minutes.
And it went-
Just got started, didn't
pretty
you?
got
good.
started.
It did pretty good.
Yeah, we did good. And it's still, I don't think it's a month old yet, right?
Right, it still could pop off and reach over 1 million. You never know.
Right, and it's nothing like with everybody else doing this. Nobody did what we did. No, I've never seen it on the internet ever. That the skit we put together right there off the fly, it is positive. It ain't no negativity in it at all.
Right. And it still got views. It still got eyes.
It went crazy.
It went stupid.
Yeah,
I seen it.
it.
Oh, I know. I seen
Which
it.
one? I
No. You showed it to me while we was at Wingstop. Stop playing with me.
I bet bro, Wingstop. We can get into this real
Nah,
quick.
Wingstop is back. Wingstop is back.
back though. Like,
Wingstop is back. Shout out to Rick Ross for that. That's better than every album, and he my guy. But Wingstop is that.
That's that. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, at Wingstop. No. He walked in, right? I think I was talking on the phone. I don't know what I was saying, but he thought I was talking to him, right? So I played off of it. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, you was just down the street, and da-da-da-da. And then he was like, what? I'm like, I'm playing. Yeah. Then we just started talking.
I was like, yeah, bro, I don't know you. Like,
Like, what's going on?
Right. But look where all that started. Now you're here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just, you know what I mean? I was
See,
just playing.
we
Like,
just get right back. All we did was get started.
Right.
and that goes back to, like I said, imagination. Look, in my little cuckoo brain, I think I feel like all black people should just be like distant cousins, friends, family. Like, sometimes, like the other day, this is off topic. I was wanting to do a skit, so I seen this dude on the bike. And I'm in my imaginary land. I'm like, yo, bro, you busy right now? Because I think I could just call him. Yo, bro, you busy right now? No, I'm not busy. I just need you to record real quick. And he just kept going. So I was just like, in my imagination, I'm thinking that we are supposed to, you know, just talk and just be cool with it.
I used to think like,
you know what I mean? And I keep that going. I'm not going to just sit here and say, you know what, this person let me down, this person let me down. I'm going to keep that. And you see what happened? I just played around like, you know what I mean? I just kept that innocence, that childlike friendliness. And look what happened. I was just joking. And we just had a real conversation talking about the way you gave me some tips. I need to start walking, doing different things. Then we went into social media and then music. Boom. We both do music. Boom. We both into the social media
and
stuff.
go back to what he said. Y'all started.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all we did.
Right.
We just got started. Hey. So I mean, I think at the end of the day, with the way we met and with the way we kind of do things now, it can easily be changed by just putting your first step out there and getting started on whatever it is that you want to do. Because ultimately, a lot of people get distracted by the vision and from the vision because of all these other outliers and things of that nature, right? But like we said, I'm going to circle back on it, right? When you have a community that is on the same page, and when you realize the power in that, oh man,
There's so much power.
Oh,
There's a
man.
whole bunch of power, even if it was only two. If it was just two people, that's a lot of power.
Oh man, it was just too like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it can, it's almost like a domino effect, right? But in like a positive way, right? Where okay, so we knocked this one down, and so now we got like, we went from 1 to 2 to like millions of people who we now have on the same page as us.
That's
allowing us
why
to do
it's
these
very.
things.
I'm sorry, to cut you off. That's why it's very important for us to keep going and not get discouraged by, you know, naysayers, people that don't agree, people that want to yap. Like, we gotta just take what we got that we believe.
Like that post you posted the other day about the mom and the little girl.
Yeah.
Under your comments, it was so many people supporting it.
People were saying to me, "You supposed to be some positive guy." Like, it was a restaurant that I was supporting, and I said, "I'm not going to say his name, but I support your restaurant." You know, I was going to do a skit in your restaurant, and he up there in the comments saying, "Oh, you supposed to be a positive guy. How you gonna post this?" No, I'm here to bring awareness. I'm supposed to bring awareness. I'm not supposed to tickle nobody's ears and just keep saying, "Oh, we need to come together." I'm gonna show you this is some bullshit.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Everybody's so sensitive now that they just keep everything on the hush hush, or don't want to speak up about it, or they only want to speak about the negative, like we you know, how we all disagreed on it.
How you gonna post that, but you don't talk about the dudes that's drug dealing and talking about killing? I do. Why is that an argument? Why you can't just look at it?
Exactly. My thing with that is, if you got a problem with what I'm doing, why don't you do it?
Right.
Why you? Because you add more fire to whatever flame that is not, because you making it something that is not. If you have a problem with anything that I'm doing, you go do it better. Mind your business.
But it's usually the ones that don't want to
They
start.
don't do nothing. It's the
That
ones who
have
don't
the
do
biggest
nothing
voice,
that got
that
the
have-
biggest mouth and
Exactly.
everything. You don't do nothing. Shut your mouth if you ain't helping. Simple as
I
that.
can feel the
There's
passion.
nothing. There's a lot of that.
Community.
It's
It's
a
a
whole
value
lot of
to
that.
nothing.
Everybody's talking. What's the solution? Because we know the problems.
Let's get to
How
it.
good is you saying something to him and you know he's supposed to be the positive dude? You know he's supposed to be the positive dude.
Oh, yeah.
So who are you supposed to be?
Exactly.
If you ain't got nothing, shut up.
And you know what's crazy? Like, a lot of people who do say these things in the comments,
Right.
ain't got no solutions.
They don't have no solutions because all they have is a negative mind.
They content with it.
They okay with that.
But I'm like,
there's solutions.
why you okay with being a
continue to promote what is being already instilled into us.
Now they really want us to just ignore it. Like that's a big. If you don't see it, it's not there.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Right. But I'm like, hold on. Why does it have to be so obvious?
That money stuff. They think that they see that's how Sexy Red got on. She got put on by being, a negative influencer, by showing her body, by, promoting all that stuff. And so they're like, well, if she could do it, I could do it too.
Right.
And in their head, they're telling themselves that they can do it. In reality, they're not even trying to start, even if they want to go down that path. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking.
Right.
They're just talking. That's literally
they're just chatting.
Right.
All of them.
Right.
I mean,
look at this.
This is exactly
That's
what I'm
kids,
talking
bro.
about.
is that a bouncy house? Wait, are these kids?
That's kids.
No, you open up the comments. He says this is 18 plus event. Look at these grown ass.
Exactly.
Y'all go to about this ain't right there. The dude that posted it, he says it's 18 plus event. What is this doing to our community of women?
It's disgusting.
And they probably like 18, 19, 20 years old. Yes, we having a good time, but what happened to the self-respect part?
Oh, nah.
Like, what's going on? Y'all all been through, like, come on, like.
Let me say this too.
Look, Hollywood, hip-hop, all this stuff, I didn't know until I became a Christian. Mm-hmm. That a lot of this stuff is an attack on Christianity.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. A lot of it, they want to normalize the stuff that is sins, the stuff that we don't supposed to do. They making it normal. Like, they'll do a ritual right in front of us, and then we're supposed to be like, here's what it is. That's it. It's not real. I don't care who you is out there. I'm gonna tell you right now, God is real. The devil is real, and we gotta wake up. And we can't continue to let these people just play us like this right in our face.
Yeah, man. You know what I think a lot. I think I learned this not too long ago. But if the devil comes to you, and he asks to make a deal with you, what's your response? No,
you gotta get out of here.
Right. So guess what the devil does? He sends other things, right, in order for you to fall into depravity, right? Like sex, drugs, money, alcohol, right?
It just goes back to with what all of us are saying about having your own mind, because those entities are inside of you, whether you realize it or not, and you're going to sit here and lie to yourself if you want. But if you don't have your own mind and you're not in tune with your soul, you're going to fall for anything.
He's right, and you got to know how to fight.
You have to know who you are, you have to love yourself, and you have to stand by what you believe. Now, if anybody could just come to you with $1 and change your mind, you ain't never knew yourself.
So
man, stay true to yourself.
I work with a whole bunch of men, right? I'm actually one of 2 female roller coaster techs.
Right on.
And I actually asked because, even though I'm not super religious, I do love the Lord, right? Mm-hmm. So I asked them, when it comes to the new age stuff, if someone came up to you and was like, I'll give you $700,000 for you to pose with nail polish, a dress, makeup and all that stuff on, as a man, would you do it, right? Now here's the catch. Now you taking that picture, you getting that $700,000. They're not telling you where they're gonna put it, so it could end up in a gay porn magazine, anywhere, right? What would you do? Do you know that majority of people at that job said they're gonna take that money?
Oh damn!
They're gonna take. They don't give a. Excuse my language. They don't give a f about what people think or what they look like. As long as they can feed their family.
Okay, so
integrity.
No integrity.
It's because it goes back to they was going to do that regardless. That's all it was. It's like it's a thing going on that me and my cousin was talking about, and it was guys in Dubai flying chicks out there to piss and shit on them for 50 racks.
Oh yeah, I heard about.
She was going to do that regardless.
Yep.
The 50,000 just was like
added.
Exactly. So if we talking about the Most High, and then we talking about the devil, do we consider the money the devil?
It's a huge influence, and I would say that it would be.
Exactly, because it's operating off your lower self.
Exactly.
That's the same thing with them guys that you asked about that. They was going to do that regardless. They just needed the money to be the motive.
Or to give them an excuse.
To do that.
Look, you guys, real quick, we're about to go on a 3-minute, 4-minute break real quick, and then we're going to come back and chop this on up. How do I Just click the music.
I love it, man.
Yeah, because I want to go back to asking about your music, especially you being in the music industry. Like,
I don't see it. I'm gonna just use somebody random music. Nah, you can go get your food.
If God give me a girl, obviously I take it. But Lord, if he could kill off the girl, I don't want another little boy.
Boys is bad, but I've taken them over girls. Only because I'm a man and actually put me through so many changes. And she only 7. I had to get emotional intelligence. And that shit was
It was hard, right?
Oh my God.
It put you in
It changed me completely. Like a whole 360.
But maybe that's what you needed.
I did need that. I just don't want to feel that again. I don't want to go through that.
And then with society now, especially with having a girl,
exactly.
Think about it. You completely different person. They've never been raped.
Exactly.
And honestly, if you think about it, those were the ones when we were sleeping at our uncles and aunts' house, all the sleepovers that was touching them while our cousins was sleeping and shit.
No bullshit. I want to say 99% of the females I talked to was in a relationship with or just was intertwined with. They all told me they got attention.
You don't have
That's
to speak.
ridiculous. Like it's very few that be like, nah, I ain't never happened to me.
I know I've been a victim. But it is also a little mess too. It's just right on.
You know what I'm saying? I don't say nothing.
Yeah, I didn't know he was back in here yet.
Oh yeah, I closed it. I did close it. I didn't close it? Oh, okay.
We don't take that long of a break. I don't know if you want to just get a bite real quick.
I'm gonna get a bite right.
Eat on air. What that mean? Eat on air.
Can I eat it on here?
Eat it on. Nah, I don't know if that's a good look. No, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like, but yeah, y'all need to just keep doing that. Hold up 1 second. The sauce dropped. Hold on.
It's the real me, y'all.
Look, I told you he ain't playing about that sauce.
It's not Wingstop, is it?
Not that. Feel better? I wish I could eat. Right? I ate, but I'm hungry again. But I don't have no
still got some food somewhere. What is that? Mommy asking.
It's like soccer in Japan, something. It's like a
I always thought it was called shikari.
restaurant.
Mhm.
Something like that, right? I don't know what the hell it's called.
I don't know.
Charcus, I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like it's somewhere around here.
Well, I was thankful that
It's a sushi spot. That shit rocking. I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh my god.
I can't eat sushi while I'm pregnant
Oh, you should Oh, that's crazy. Why really funny? Hey, this is the real me, y'all.
I love it though. I love it. You authentic. You know that? That's great. Let me tell you something. My boyfriend, he was adopted, right?
Oh yeah. I gotta get your number, bro.
I
gotta get your number.
He found out that he's like 40% Nigerian. You know, he showed us. I need you to teach him how to be Nigerian.
See, that's what I'm trying to say.
I came here last Saturday.
Because he's light skinned with hazel eyes, right? So he thought he was gonna have some white in him. He don't have barely any white in him. Everything is stemmed from Africa.
So, you know what's crazy, right? The African woman, right? She actually has more diversity in her genes when it comes down to creating children. So like you could like.
That's why you get all different color eyes and all that stuff. And you be seeing people in Africa with like the deep blue eyes.
That's like next time. I got you. What the say was?
He's really short, but you got blue eyes.
See, mine is really tall. He's like 6'4".
We gotta get back on. We only got about
Yeah, take that last right.
less than that. Probably what, like 20 minutes?
24. Look at the clock.
Let's do it. Claps. Hand claps. Okay. Yeah, we had to take a quick break. This guy over here talking about
Duty calls, you know what I'm saying?
Get back into it. Who were some of your influences?
Yes.
Man, it's funny. My influences are honestly really, I wouldn't say odd, but it wouldn't be your main ones.
They Nigerian?
Actually, believe it or not, yeah. No, believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit Nigerian. I'm like 37% or something.
37? Everybody doing that 23andMe, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop giving your DNA up.
But nah, my grandfather is Nigerian, but I did do that as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to clone you.
I hope not. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see another me walking around like, yeah, I'm from agency 354.
Hey, man, what? Looking like a barcode, but I would say Rex Life Raj is actually one of my influences. John Bellion is one of my influences. I don't know if you've ever seen John Bellion's like YouTube video about how he created Guillotine.
I never heard of this person.
I never heard of it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like some of my influences aren't people that are on mainstream, because mainstream is for the labels to make money.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not for real, music. It's not for real influence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when it came down to like really being inspired to create music, Rex Life Raj, John Bellion, like I've seen this guy literally like sit there in front of a piano and create this song before it's even like created, and just be like, okay, so I'm picturing this. I want the piano to sound like this. And I want this bass line to be like dum da ding dum dum da ding dum da ding dum dum da ding. Yeah, and then like he's just piecing this all together with everything and everybody, right? And he already had the vision, but you didn't see the full product until the very end. And that's when it was like, wow, this is magical, man.
Is music like a background thing in your family?
Oh man, no.
How old were you when you realized that you did have talent? And what brought out that? Like, did you start singing in church? You know how some people usually get started in church?
Yeah, actually, when I learned how to moonwalk, actually.
You serious?
Mm-hmm.
You know how to moonwalk?
You know how to moonwalk?
We might need to see that.
I mean, you can't just do that like right now.
do it over there on the rug right now. Let's see how good you really are.
Everything. Nah, when it comes down to it, it was really my father. Like he would actually put in front of me, Michael Jackson. He was a huge fan of Michael Jackson, and so he would put Michael Jackson in front of me and was like, "Hey man, this guy's crazy." You know what I mean? Like the king of pop. Everybody loved this dude.
I understand that 100%. My father was fanatic. I'm talking about moonwalker tapes.
Yes.
Like this is
Like
the
this
way. Right.
So funny. Nah, because I resonate with that. And when it came down to it, I was like, man, I really do like want to be a pop star, like a rock star almost, because the way we are the world, like he had all these.
Oh, let her finish. Let's say that. You said you sing. We hear that.
Nah,
give us a little sample.
For real though, yes.
Hey, don't put me on the spot, Jay. I didn't get to finish.
But I heard that, and I was just.
We took a break for you to eat. We need you to, you know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all. So now we
Real quick.
All right. I mean, I really don't be knowing lyrics like that.
I'm like, brush that question off. I don't really be doing that. Now, just give them a little something.
Something, even if it's yours.
Let me see. I gave it all for a fantasy. Is anybody gonna remember me? If I die tonight, I doubt the world will change. I just pray they don't forget my name. If it's game rules, I can't lose. When it's all said and done, will I still be cool? Spend like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. How much I'ma spend profiling? Let me stop, man.
I had to drop a bomb on that. I know we can't hear it in the studio, but I dropped a bomb on it.
Hey, man.
I'm definitely using him for my hook. Don't try to steal him.
Look, Ab, we gotta get it. Ab, we gotta get this track done. I might kidnap him and take him to the studio.
Hey, we was talking positivity, and Kid Problem went back to kidnap.
I'm gonna have to kidnap him and take him to the studio. Like, do the hook right now. See? You said in the studio.
This is why I don't be singing on the spot, too.
Hang you over the balcony.
Why?
Nah, it's like...
Suge Knight style.
I know what you're saying.
Hang you straight over the balcony.
Sign this right now.
Business hours is from 9 to 5.
Sign this publishing right now.
I would say the reason why I don't be like doing that all the time is because hey, I'm human. I be getting nervous. You know what I'm saying? So like, even though I know I can sing, right? It's always a mental thing. Now, when I know I'm going in to perform, it's a different story. I don't get nervous. But when I know I'm going in and I'm like not about to, I'm just me, And I think Miley Cyrus talked about this. When you get to a certain stage in performing and as an artist, right, you have to almost disconnect yourself from humanity almost because they hold you in a pedestal.
So do you have to have do you feel like it's easier to have an alter ego? Kinda?
I mean, I'm not saying I got multiple personalities.
You're an artist, you got multiple personalities.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so I kind of have to get in these personality. I have to really sink into it in order for me to be prepared for the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like a switch. Like people think that it's just a switch and you're just done. Like you're a different person. It's not like that.
Right. What's your plans with your music? What do you want to do with it? How do you want to influence the people?
That's a good question. So I really want people to really stay true to themselves. Right. Okay, so I want to break down my name because I think it would make a lot more sense. Right. So, AKA the truth. All right. AKA, right, means also known as, but it's also the last 3 letters of my last name. The first 3 letters of my last name, actually. Right. So that's a double entendre. The truth. Right. Also known as the truth. AKA Aka Nunu. Truth. This is my truth, right? That I'm giving to everybody else, right? So I want you to understand that this is who I am, and this is why I'm so powerful, because I know who I am.
Right.
So why don't I just give it to you in all these different forms that I can, because I guess the talent that God has given me allowed me to do so. And now you have AKA the truth. Right. So I really encourage people to be really unapologetically themselves and not a copy. I don't want you to copy me. Right. And there are leaders out there who is like, hey, I don't want you to copy me. We can be a mentor. I can mentor you. I can do anything I need to with you, but I don't want you to live your life solely based off of mine.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's the type of person that I am. If I can build a community of independent people who think on themselves, about themselves, and isn't influenced by too much and just stays true to that. Exactly.
No one, yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
cool with that. I'm cool because I just love making music. I can sing.
But
I
if
got.
you can influence someone to start, you
Yeah.
know, their career. You know, I think that I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what we need more in the community. Like understanding that you don't want to be that person that influences them for, you know, negative. You want to bring them to just, all right, I started. I'm a black man. I'm an African man,
Yeah.
and I started. Now you can start too.
Yeah, just focus on you, man. Like ultimately, like man, what? Like if somebody comes to me, like Jay-Z, for instance, would you take the? Would you do it? The dinner? Would you do it? Right? Would you take the dinner with Jay-Z, or would you take the $500,000? You know what I mean, or whatever it was. I would tell everybody, listen, take the money. Use it to improve yourself. I don't know what path you're on, what you're doing with your life, what's going on, but like you sitting here with me for 30 minutes ain't gonna do much for you, right? Because I can't change you. The only person who can change you
Is you.
You get me? So it's like, why are you sitting here with me thinking that I am the solution, the cure all to what's going on with you just because I made it? Man, I figured out what was going on with myself, which was really hard, and it was a journey. Right? And I was fighting. I'm getting punched, kicked, scratched at, bleeding, crying. I'm going through it all to find out who this dude is. And I'm putting it now on pieces of paper and making music out of it. And saying, hey, this is my perspective, what's yours? That's all I'm asking. That's literally all I'm doing when I make my music. Here's mine.
Do you feel like it's hard for you to, I guess, be promoted by your community, especially because you're not promoting negativity?
Are you getting the support?
Yeah, are you getting support?
I'll be honest. Yeah. I'll be honest. Like, I think my biggest thing is I just love the music so much that I kind of lag off of the marketing, right? When in reality, you can't do that.
Right.
I had a show in Jersey City. It was at a venue called 512 Quantum. And one of my singles, Problems, it was called Problems, right? And the hook is, damn girl, I got problems. Forget anything you ever known about me. I've been steady down in bed, but can't you see? Every single bit of me is not one piece. Damn girl, I got problems. That's literally me saying, hey, you don't have to deal with me right now because I am in pieces. And all you're going to do is pick up these pieces and be frustrated when you have to constantly pick them up. So please let me tell you that I have problems. Please let me let you know that I'm trying to find myself and figure it out. Because when I am glued together and whole, I'm going to be a better person for you and me.
Right.
So no need for the women to try to fix you. Now how us women try to like put all the pieces together even though they don't fit, just so that we can say that we fixed you.
Yeah.
And that's the problem today with music. A lot of people not being, artists. And when you're being an artist, you're gonna talk about real stuff, real life, real things. You're not just trying to make that hit record. You're trying to. You're using the music as a therapeutic type of thing. You're venting, you're letting stuff off your chest. I know that's how I feel when I make certain songs. Like, I really had to get this off, and I know nobody's going to be able to help me but me. And this is going to make me feel better. So, I salute you for that.
It's definitely
you broke that down. Like, look, I'm in pieces right now, shorty. Look, you might not understand this, but go listen to that song.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, because what did I say before, right? I'm literally just giving you my perspective. What's yours?
Do you think that you can work on yourself while having a partner still, or you think that having a partner is out the question while you're, smoothing out the edges?
I can give you two answers.
Okay.
I can give you in an idealistic world and in the world that I live in.
Nah, just give us the real. Give us the real.
All right. So, in the world that I live in right now, a partner would not make sense, right? Because when you have a partner, and correct me if I'm wrong here.
Now, this is your life. This is how you see your life. There's no wrong answer.
Okay. So, I at least see that a partner is supposed to help you and advance you, right? Mm-hmm. In whatever direction that you are trying to reach, whatever kingdom that you are trying to build, they're supposed to help you and advance you, right? And I think the weakest link within a kingdom, right, is the person who doesn't see the vision. And so if I bring somebody onto my team, or if I exactly right, then not only is it a roadblock, it's stopping me from progressing, it's doing so much damage, I'm also forgetting the vision. And I don't want to do that, right? I'm almost afraid of that. Now, some people may say, and I see your gears turning right now, and I understand where you come from. Some people may say that love is not going to deter from that, right? And some people do get distracted, right, by the relationship and almost forget about everything else they was doing. But that's not to say that the opposite side of the coin is you being in love is going to be able to aid you into that position. I just want to be, what's his name? The guy who's like, my nigga, Denzel Washington. Okay. So.
I do have a question real quick, and like a statement. It's probably like how you feel. I used to feel like that until I got into my relationship.
Right.
Thinking you have to be this perfect person or somewhere that you see yourself needing to be in order to say, look, I'm ready to do this and that and third. But at the same time, you should be open to someone that's willing to be your friend first.
Right.
Then your lover.
Yep.
Then your partner. So I could say, just be open-minded to the people that might be coming into your life. That actually,
don't just everybody.
Yeah,
don't know who coming into your life.
Yeah, because God, He works in mysterious ways, and everything happened for a reason. You might leave here and bump into somebody, and y'all just start talking and laughing and giggling, and then you explain everything to her, and she just understands everything that you have going on, and she's willing to be part of that. She just wants something real. You never know. It might be somebody out there that just like you for you and not going to care about anything that's materialistic or where you at in life or anything. So.
I do think, me personally, I do think that when you do have that solid foundation, that like how
where you see yourself
biblically, you can speak non-biblically. Two can make it further than just one. Like together we can conquer way more.
Right.
So if you have that right support, like you don't know how far you even that she'll push you.
My woman helped take me to the next level, and just having somebody I could talk to and just fully understand what I got going on and what I'm trying to do and who I'm trying to be. You don't want nobody to nag you like, yo, what is going on? What are you trying to do? What are we doing? What is these ideas that you just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She helped elevate me to the next level. So I'm just saying, don't miss out on somebody that could possibly, you can elevate.
Right. Yeah. One of the things that stood out when he said that he was 100% on point with is the vision. If he know who he is, so if old girl don't know who he is, he don't need to be bothered with him because exactly. So if the vision is like what he's saying, it has to line up for it could be as good as selling as it's going to be, because it could be a whole bunch of green flags. Her not understanding our vision is the super red flag.
Yeah, and that's when everything.
That exactly, because that's where you at with your life. Like, and even as you grow, you're gonna grow more and more and more into your vision. And a lot of the times, especially in our society, we don't know how to date. We don't know what relationships about. It's off a script.
Yeah.
So no one is really. They're not really doing it authentically. They doing it just because.
Right.
So now we get into these relationships and you figure these things out about these people and you like, I really don't like you. Nobody wants to waste 20 years or 25 years and they lying.
Yeah.
A lot of times in our communities we have these relationships that go for 20 years, 25 years, and it's all a lie.
It's meaningless.
It's meaningless.
Remember you said earlier too about like the chess piece that the queen is the most important part, right? I like to describe it like this. For me, I'm not afraid of the word submissive. I actually embrace it because for me, right, my man is the head and I'm the neck.
Ooh.
Without me, he would have to turn his whole body in order to look over his shoulders.
Yeah, no neck jack.
Yeah, you know.
Crazy
But
motherfucker.
with me by his side, he doesn't need to turn his whole body. He can easily just turn around.
Yeah.
You know? So I do think that, like he said, when you do find a person that's on that same wavelength, that does understand, that sees the vision, even if right now it's not going according to plan, but she knows where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
It adds value.
I want to say this though. I don't want y'all thinking that I just don't be dating or know how to date or nothing.
We know you just want the best for yourself. We know that.
It's definitely for the viewers. It's not
Right.
What you do in your personal life, that's you.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure you know you're an artist, so I'm pretty sure you know who you are. I'm pretty sure you mingling and you having a good time as you should.
Right.
So
Right.
No, but
coming
I
like
also,
that.
the reason why I'm bringing up relationships is because I also want, me personally, I'm tired of the whole feminist act, the whole, you know, like I'm not a feminist at all. I actually promote unity, like togetherness, family. So for me, I'm not here to just like say, oh, that's the only thing that we care about from you, no, right?
Yeah.
I don't want you to think that at all. For me, I just want people to understand that, you know, from your perspective, you might not be ready for these females because of how we're losing ourselves in the society that we're creating. You know what I'm saying? Like, us women are no longer women no more, and the men are no longer men no more. Like, we have overly feminine men and overly masculine women.
Right, and that's due to a lot of trauma. It goes back to trauma and dealing with yourself. A lot of people is in pain and they don't know how to heal. Healing wasn't a thing until maybe about, I want to say 5-6 years ago.
And it wasn't promoted in the household
at all. As you deal with that and you go on with life.
Like, what? You going to talk to them people? You put them people in your business?
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, so even in so I found out that me being African born and raised, right, and then coming into America, right, and then also meeting Black Americans, similar but different,
right,
completely, right, and at least, oh man, everything, honestly, and I'll be honest, like they don't believe in mental health. African parents do not believe in mental health whatsoever. They think that. If you, they think that depression doesn't exist, and if you feel some like sad type of way or whatever, they're like, that's an illness in your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, relinquish it. Like, yeah, like they're like, because you know most, and I can say this because most Nigerian parents, most African parents, they speak in parables almost, right? And so they'll say these things that seem so elegant in the way they say it, when in reality it is so ignorant. And it's like you have to understand that,
yeah, you do.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is really what goes down. But when you raise these kids this way, you know what I mean, like they almost limit themselves in certain ways or cause more harm to themselves in certain ways and block out these things called therapy, right?
Once I received therapy, because I don't know if you know, I've been shot in my face. I have like 4 suicide attempts. I am a father. I've been through a lot of things, and in order to be the best of me, the best father, the best person for my family and society, I have to deal with things that, you know, I've been through, you know. So receiving that therapy and just being able to freely speak the things that's on my mind, and then, you know, it's different things you might speak on, but not realize when you explain who you are and your story. The way you speak about certain points in your life is where you hold the most trauma. Right. So just learning that and going over these things helped me let go. Because I didn't know how to let go.
Real quick, because we about to be finished soon.
Yeah, we got 1 minute.
Especially because you were raised in an African family. How did you fight those, you know, those negative, I guess, viewpoints from your family? Like, how did you go about that?
I don't think there's really a one fit answer for that. I think I prayed a lot. I tried to think outside the box, go against the grain a lot. I would say that I was just born with a really strong mental. There have been some really crazy moments in my life that I thought I would never make it through, and I did. And that allowed me to see the strength in myself and bet on myself more times than I could bet on anyone else. So I think that's the only answer I can give.
And before we get out of here, because literally the show is about to wrap up, just give me a positive message. I'm sounding like Unc from Speak Your Mom podcast. Give me a positive message before you go out for the fans out there, you know, that support you, and then let us know all your socials.
I would say that thieves don't rob empty houses, okay? So, you know, if you go through what you go through and it's hard, understand that there's something or some power, maybe the devil, trying to stop you because of that potential that you have inside you, all right? And it's trying to stop you from tapping into that. So please understand that life isn't hard, okay? You just get stronger because of it.
And give me where they can find you at as far as your social media. Where's your music at? Do you got a single that you're promoting?
Yeah, so y'all can find me at It's AKA The Truth on everything. It's AKA The Truth. AKA The Truth Music on Facebook. The most recent single I have is called Betrayed. So if you ever felt like you was betrayed in a relationship, this might be the one for you. All right. At the end of the day, my vocals will soothe you. I promise.
Yeah, let's get up out of here. Y'all wanna end it with something, Chris? Yeah.
Positivity rules.
Hey.
Always stay authentic.
Water.
We out here.
I love you, Benji.
Capretta. Come here, let me talk to you. Just slow down for a second. You rocking off fast. Like, let me say something. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. I need that. I need that. I need that. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. I need that. I need that. Yeah, how you doing? What's your name? Hold up. Are you single and the kids? What's up? Give you love, friendship, and trust. I know this all sound like a lot, but what? I do what I feel is right. Open and listen, I don't want to fight. Keep it real with me when I get touched. Right by the side, we gon' pop shit. I don't cheat, I don't lie, that's that. Looking good, you a snack. Which ride if I let up the strap? All these questions I just had to ask. No one, no bag trash. No one, no bag trash. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. I need that. I need that. I need that. She know that she bad. She got her own bag. She know that she bad.